jammed in here. Got nowhere to move. All right. Yo, what's up, Karlak? What's up, Trazen? So, I'm not doing too bad, man. Thanks. Something happened. Yeah, so, everything got pushed. So, everything went well. I had good news. It was essentially a gig that I picked up, and I'm going to be moving, but it got shifted by a month because of the timeline, and things were moving a little slower than expected, so we had to push it forward a month. So I'm essentially here to do something to make more content so I can get another month's worth of content, because I already made a month's worth of content and put it up thinking it was going to be this month, but it's not this month. So now I got a month's worth of content that's already up, and I got to do like a month's more. So that's where we're at, Trazen. If you're wondering what the hell happened. And I did mention that I could be live here and there, short streams, you know, random streams, stuff like that. But I nailed down a gig, and I'm going to be moving. So, any and all support to the channel, the videos I'm uploading, dropping likes, subscribers, memberships, all that stuff is greatly appreciated. Because during my downtime, I won't be able to really do streams like this as much and interact and kind of get the same content out there. So, yeah, back for a short stream. How you doing, Karlek? What's going on, man? Been a minute. Excuse me. Yeah, back. Not playing Solasta. I'm going to be creating characters. I just did a short hangout stream just to chat, shoot the shit. I'm going to make characters that will be the group for the videos that I will be doing. So that's essentially what's going to happen. I'm going to do some character creation today. We're going to make some cool characters. It's fun. Still breathing, just getting my shit together to work on videos after a short break. Got sick of hearing my own voice. Word. Good stuff. I'll keep an eye open. Keep an eye open for the news. The new. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Got the new gig. It took a little while to get everything sorted out, which is... It's fine. It's fine. We got it sorted out. Just gotta put pen to paper, so to speak, and start preparing to move. So there will be some downtime, but the only thing is it wasn't the same time as I had originally anticipated. A month later, so I made all these preparations, which I know I try not to do, but I was like, nothing wrong with being more ready than I need to be. Being more ready than I need to be, being over-prepared, is way better than being under-prepared, right? I would rather be way over-prepared. I guess it depends on context, but generally speaking, over-preparedness is better than under-preparedness, right? Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. But again, it depends on exactly what you're talking about, because there are some contexts where it's the other way around. Yeah, so what is going to be happening here? Let me give you guys a bit of an outline here, and this is just kind of a generalized outline here. I've got some lore. Got some old lore from like D&D tabletop stuff. About a tribe of nomadic orcs that their tribe was kind of wiped out, but they're trying to make a comeback. So just the like the draft of the story, because I'm still trying to get some final stuff written out and stuff like that. So, all right, Karlek, later, my G. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a good one, and yeah, Get some of that content out there, man. So let's see here. Let's give you guys, I will give you guys the, let me see here. Let me give you guys the a bit of a rundown here. Let me just do the auto read for this here, maybe. Text to speech this. Text to speech this. This is just drafted writing stuff because I'm doing it through AI. I've got like my story. I've got my story, but I don't have the story written. So I'm getting AI to help me get everything sorted out here. All right, let's see here. So this is the recent outline here, I believe. Anybody's interested, stick around. We got some lore here. I'm going to be doing some lore playback in a second, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. Assuming you want to hear it. Yeah, if you want to get some lore in here. I have that. And we'll start right around here.
Excellent, we begin.
Sorry about
heavy check mark chapter 1.
Hang on. Sorry about first of all, sorry about like the computer voice. I don't have a subscription to this because it's unfortunately not affordable right now. And so enjoy the robot. Enjoy the robot talk, I don't care.
The Forgotten Blood. Direct hit summary. Chief Varkan, battle-worn and aging, receives word of a bastard child born in the human south, a daughter. Against counsel, he sends his most loyal warrior, Dox, to retrieve the girl. Dox, skeptical and grim, accepts the task. In the icy dark, he departs alone. Puzzle piece chapter 1 outline, 6 parts. Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper. In the chieftain's war tent, an old messenger brings word of a child. Varkan's blood, born in secret. The chief listens silently. The flame crackles. Outside, war drums echo. He calls Dox, now scarred and nearing his prime, to take the journey south. Part 2, Orders by Firelight. Varkan and Dox speak privately. Varkan hands over a keepsake, a knife engraved with the Frostbone sigil. Dox challenges the decision. She's soft. Human. Varkan answers, she's mine. And she'll lead. Dox leaves before dawn. Part 3, The Long Ice. Dox travels across the tundra, braving snow wolves, blizzards, and memory. Flashbacks of Varkan raising him, teaching him how to command and obey. Dox wrestles with silent fury. Why not choose him? Part 4, City of Smoke. Dox arrives at Barinthal. The stench of metal and rot. Children spit near him. Guards eye him warily. He hunts the slums. Finds Illyra Halden, older, cautious.
Hey, can you guys hear this? Are you guys, does this sound okay? Is the volume okay on this? Too loud, not a good mix. How does it sound? Heard it good? Pretty good noise level? Okay, cool.
Mia appears, a small child with storm gray eyes. Dox watches her silently. Part 5, The Broken Family. Illyra tells him Varkan never returned for her. She won't give Mia up. Dox says it's not her choice. That night, Mia sneaks out and sees Dox sharpening his axe. They exchange a few awkward words. He gives her dried meat. She accepts it. Part 6, The Choice of Stone. Before dawn, fire breaks out in the alley, maybe accident, maybe not. Dox grabs Mia and flees into the smoke. Illyra is lost in the flames. From the city wall, Mia turns back as it burns. Dox says nothing. He places the frostbone blade in her hand. If you approve, I'll begin writing. Write Arrow Chapter 1,
right,
Part 1, The Blade and the
So
Whisper.
that's
This
like the
part will
chapter
open with
part
Chief
1.
Barkin in the war tent, receiving.
This is a very rough draft of the story too, so keep that in mind. Not many changes have been
Perfect.
made to this because
I'll write with maximal depth. Open book Part 1, Summary. In the chieftain's war tent, an old messenger brings word of a child. Varkin's blood, born in secret. The chief listens silently. The flame crackles. Outside, war drums echo. He calls Dox, now scarred and nearing his prime, to take the journey south. Snow hissed on the stretched hide roof above the chieftain's tent, whispering like 1,000 ghosts against the hide. The flames in the iron brazier spat low light and shadows across the blood-streaked furs, licking up the walls like something alive. The scent of leather, smoke, and steel hung thick in the air. Varkin sat cross-legged before the fire, sharpening a dagger that no longer needed sharpening. His tusks were cracked with age, hair pulled into rough iron rings that hung down his back. Scars latticed his arms like a second skin earned, not taken. The blade in his hand was not ceremonial. It was old.
Right, War Chief had a child, half-orc, right, with a human woman, and didn't know, and then found out about it. And is like, yeah, she needs to prepare to assume the role of the lead of the tribe. And they're like, what? They're like, the half orc girl needs to prepare? And he's like, yes, go get her. Go get her, bring her here. We need to prepare her. Yes, a human woman. He had a child with a human woman. And here we are. This is the part 1. This is the draft for chapter 1, part 1. A draft.
It had killed men. Snow hissed on the stretched hide roof above the chieftain's tent, whispering like 1,000 ghosts against the hide. The flames in the iron brazier spat low light and shadows across the blood-streaked furs, licking up the walls like something alive. The scent of leather, smoke, and steel hung thick in the air. Varkin sat cross-legged before the fire, sharpening a dagger that no longer needed sharpening. His tusks were cracked with age, hair pulled into rough iron rings that hung down his back. Scars latticed his arms like a second skin earned, not taken. The blade in his hand was not ceremonial. It was old. It had killed men. He had not spoken in some time. Across the tent, the messenger waited. An elder, wrapped in damp furs, with a limp in one leg and a breath that came with a rasp. His name was Torgon, once a whisper walker of the western frostbone hunt packs. Now he brought words instead of kills. She lives, Varkin, Torgon said finally, voice low. South. The girl. Born 16 winters past.
We changed that
woman.
because it was like the story we wrote. I told her she was like
the
she's
dagger
fucking
ran along the
24. She's not a
again
child.
with a
She's a
soft,
woman.
Clean hiss. Sure of this.
So we changed that. There was a couple of things. There was a couple of changes that we made to it, but I can't get it to. I can't get it to spit out any more fucking lore because I gotta pay. I know. it's AI, but it's nice. Speak American on this. You know what? What? What the fuck? It is American too. It's got that American flag. But it's not Henry. It's not Oscar or Henry. We need the voice. We need Henry. Henry! Henry! Give me more words, Henry! Henry, I need more words! I don't have any money for you, Henry!
I saw her with my own eyes. Same eyes as you. Same jaw. She's no human full blood.
Alright, so. Point being is that is what I'm doing right now. I'm making characters from that story universe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be doing characters from that story universe homebrew shit for their own mission here in Solasta. And then videos of this are going up on the channel. Because like I mentioned before, this whole thing, I got a gig. So Toast, I got a gig. That's what the thing that was going on, and I got to move. I was preparing for something very rushed, and then we had to move it a month just because of the timeline. So I've got to quickly make more videos to put up because I already put up a month's worth of videos thinking that I was going to be doing things right now. When in reality, I'm going to be doing them soon, not right now. So I got to make more videos. So that's what's happening. Solasta with the Frostbone tribe people from that story. Nope. I'm going to work on a farm. I'm going to breed horses for racing. All right. So that's essentially where we're at. These are some of the characters we did before. They're not going to be part of this story. I mean, we could put them in. We are creating characters for a YouTube series for Solasta. That's basically it. That's it. The orc tribe, or now I guess mostly half orc, but we're going to say orc because we don't have fucking orc in here. So we're just going to use the orcs, the half orcs. And we are going to slowly rebuild the Frostbone tribe. And send them on adventures. And you guys will get to see it. All right. Let's see here. We are going to need a fighter. The Glock, the Glock Dookie. The Glock the Glock Coomer. They got that Glock Coomer. Pow pow! All right, let me see here. The first one would have to be like the daughter of Mia and Dax, right? Fighter. Lawkeeper, aesthetic aristocrat. To colonize this region during survive the harsh, peerless environment. Had few friends, no school. So she would have, her background would be very different than, or no. This is the daughter. Okay, yeah, so this would be, I guess they're all kind of going to be wanderers, right? And egoism would be important for someone in a tribe, right? No, we don't have goblins in here. We can't make gobbo. We don't have any goblins. Does any game have goblins in it that you can make? Any of the Pathfinder games you can make goblins in? Like an all goblin party? Fuck yes. Yes, please. Friends and family first above others, and practicality over principles. Let's get some rolls here. We're building the rest of the story now. We're filling out this story with some characters from the tribe. And the story isn't finished, not even close. I need to pay money to get the fucking AI to spit out more stuff. And I won't do it! Maybe some other time, though. So we're just kind of, you're going to see like a separate part of this homebrew storyline, right? You guys are going to see a spin-off of that storyline, right? Of the Frostbone tribe, who is now, you know, semi-rebuilt and reforming and training and have returned to the kind of, they still have like nomadic, would it be like they'd still have like nomadic, like parts of their tribe still are kind of nomads and they go out and they come back, right? Does that make sense? Well, the actual episodes will be going up in about roughly a month's time. You won't see these episodes for about a month or so. This is preparation, right? And I know it seems like a long time, but with the timelines the way they are for streaming and the videos that I'm doing, that's just how they're gonna land. Unless I were to readjust a bunch of other shit, which I could do, and start slipping these in every so often and just adjust things to stretch other stuff out. I could do that. But that wouldn't make much sense for the members who are already getting all of the videos early, so I don't want to do that. That being said, if you're not a member and you want to see all of the videos early, we got about 30, well, not 30, but like 20 videos sitting there that are slowly going to be released over a period of the next month or so, but you can get access to all of them right now, basically. If you become a member, that's a huge role. That role is insane. We'll take all of that. Okay. What kind of fighter do we want to do? For a fighter, for like a spell blade, what do you guys think? Someone who can use their blade as their focus. You think we should do like great weapon? Okay, so as far as characters go on here, oh, I thought I lost my roll. Oh my god. Oh god, dear Christ. I lost my roll. Alright, toast. Later, dude. So basically you pick your class, you pick your background, which kind of your class will give you like different stats, stuff like that, base stuff. And see, as a fighter, your scores are strength, constitution. So then you roll for your stats. You assign them as you want. I'll just use the optimize option because it works for me. Once we're done stats, depending on the class, you might get to choose something like this, something that kind of branches you off into a different direction, right? Be it more, for a fighter, more defensive, more offensive, dueling, single weapon archery, and so on. But for other stuff, this will kind of be a little bit different depending on what you choose for the actual class, which we might see. Damage rolls with that weapon. Okay. So this would be like for a spellcaster who didn't have a focus in their sword or weapon. What do you guys think? Do you think two-handed or two weapon or great weapon? I don't want to go shield. See, like on the great weapon, when you roll a 1 or 2 on damage die for an attack you make with a melee weapon that you are wielding with 2 hands, you can re-roll that die and take the second. Right? So these will be like your skills that you have for your class. And this one, you add a little bit more damage to the second one. But I feel like the second one only comes if you're not casting spells. No, that's not true. Because I think you can cast them on the weapons. Yeah, I think 2 weapon fighting, you might be right. Let's go with 2 weapon fighting for her. Now we select skills. We get some stuff from our classes or our race or whatever, and we get to improve some of the stuff we have. For an orc, more likely to go athletics than anything else. Specifically for her, more specifically, I should say. Let's raise her perception. Let's go with that. Oh, wait. Okay, yes, this is just other stuff. All right, we need a name for this Frostbone character. And I don't know if I want to use... I don't know if I want to use these, I don't know if I want to use these pre-mades. She looks like an angry orc woman. Gotta be blue. Gotta be like a tone of blue. And that's the only one we've got, I think, so that's the blue. Everybody's got all the Frostbones have this tone. Or, well, most of them. We'll say most of them. You guys think of that? How do we feel about that? Looks pretty orky, right? Looks mad orky, dog. That looks mad orky, dog. Ooh, that's a mean one. Very orky. Very orky. All right. Orky. Orky. We had a more gray. Yep. Now I find a lot of good choices in here for this. A fit. I think we're going to go with the braids. In blue or white is the question. Yeah, what's up, legend? That looks like fucking some fucking Justin Bieber shit. That's horrible. Maybe it's the face that's not working for me. What is going on, guys? War Tundering! War Tundering just out here, War Tundering a bit by. But the boys are out here War Tundering! I'm gonna give him those White Walker eyes, what? Oh shit, you're the Keeper of the Four Elements guy! You're the Keeper of the Four Elements guy! What's up, dude? No, man, I ain't got it. I know it's cheap, but I don't really fuck with the PlayStation that much anymore, man. I'll be honest, my PlayStation's packed up. PlayStation's packed up, man. It's ready for my big move. But I'll tell you what, if you see it at any point, okay, and it's on sale, let me know. All right? Let me know. I'll go scoop it up. But I don't want to get I don't really have it hooked up right now, so I haven't bothered. I don't even actually own it. I was playing it I was playing it on PlayStation Plus. Fuck, that almost looks like it's supposed to be that way there. Something like that or that. So there are different sections for what? What are we talking about here? Somewhere in the middle here. We want it to be somewhat,
Hey, a secret door.
Junk. What I wouldn't give for a nice fire.
That's a guy.
Done.
At last,
Done.
it stopped snowing.
Deal with it.
I needed that.
That's a feminine dude. That's not a
Push!
woman.
You suck.
We're gonna freeze to death.
You like that?
Clumsy.
We're not gonna freeze.
We're gonna freeze to death.
We're fucking ice orcs, bro. We're not gonna freeze. Relax. Nobody's freezing. Nobody in this clan is going to freeze. It won't happen. It won't fucking happen. Trust me. Nobody's freezing, okay? Oh, we need additional backstory. Shit! I didn't even notice a spot for this.
Stop. Stop. You like, walk it off. Walk it off. Walk it off. Nice jump. Stop. There's a trap. You'll get a nice scar. We got a hidden door.
No. We're gonna freeze to death.
Damn.
We're gonna freeze to death.
Stop that!
What I wouldn't give for a nice fire. What I wouldn't give for a nice fire.
Oh, okay. So I need to buy that game. I don't own it. So I can't play it.
What I wouldn't give for a nice fire. Easy. You'll get a nice scar.
That I like. Done and done.
Let's see here. So we will have... We need a name. We don't have a name. Shit, we don't have a name. Fuck. All right. Let me see here. All right, let me see here. Current draft of... Okay. All right.
Perfect blood calls. Shield lead. It is.
A granny player.
Short. Tribal. Commanding. And packed
A
with
granny
layered
player.
meaning.
That's awesome.
It'll become a core phrase of the story, maybe even repeated by
Let's
others
see
in
here.
later chapters when her I'll carry white heavy Varkin blood shield lead. Now moving on to Open Book Chapter 1.
No, let's
Part
get a
3.
final.
Certainly. Here's the finalized version of Chapter 1. Open Book Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper. Snow hissed on the stretched hide roof above the chieftain's tent, whispering like 1,000 ghosts. Flames in the iron brazier spat low light and shadows across the blood-streaked furs. The scent of leather, smoke.
Hang on a sec, boys.
Open. Part 1, The Blade. Open Book Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper. Snow hissed on the stretched hide roof above the chieftain's tent, whispering like 1,000 ghosts. Flames in the iron brazier spat low light and shadows across the blood-streaked furs. The scent of leather, smoke, and steel hung thick in the air. Varkin sat cross-legged before the fire, sharpening a dagger that no longer needed it. His tusks were cracked with age, his hair pulled into rough iron rings. Scars latticed his arms like a second skin earned, not taken.
So I am just working on a backstory that I've had for a long time done up. And just kind of working it out and letting AI help me write the actual meat of it because I don't really have time. Then once that's fleshed out, I can keep that and then start doing little side stories and putting this stuff together.
The blade in his hand was not ceremonial. It had killed men. He had not spoken in some time. Across the tent, the messenger waited. Torgon, wrapped in damp furs, his breath wheezing in and out. Once a whisper walker. Now only old. She lives, Torgon said. South. The girl. Born 24 winters past. From the Varinthal woman. Varkin didn't look up. The dagger sang once more along the whetstone. Sure of this. I saw her. Same eyes as yours. She heals fighters in the slums. Doesn't know her blood. The blade stopped. Why now? She's grown. Stronger than expected. And the clan, whispers. You've no heir. Varkin set the blade aside and rose. He crossed the tent, knelt at the buried stone in the back, and pulled out a cloth-wrapped object. He unwrapped it slowly, a short, broad-blade dagger with a hilt of mammoth horn, the frostbone rune carved deep at its root. Send dogs, he said. Torgon blinked. Him. He'll do it right. Won't speak where he shouldn't. Won't flinch if blood's spilled. He won't like it? No, Varkin said, wrapping the blade again. He won't. Dox entered not long after. The flap opened to shrieking wind, then fell shut behind him. He stepped in without bowing. You summoned, he said. Varkin stood across the brazier. I have a task. South. Into human land. Docs frowned. Rating season's over. This is not for rating. It's for blood. Doc said nothing. I have a daughter, Varkin said. 24 winters old. Half-blood. Raised in Barenthal. Doc's jaw shifted. You kept that hidden. I had my reasons. She's not one of us. Then make her one. Doc's stare hardened. You mean to bring her back? Varkin nodded once. She's of my blood. Blood calls. She'll lead. A long silence. Docs looked at the blade. Still wrapped. He didn't reach for it. You think she's worthy? Varkin stared into the flames. That's your task to answer. Doc stepped forward, took the bundle, and turned for the exit. Varkin's voice stopped him. Don't make her into me. Docs paused. Said nothing. Then stepped into the storm. Snow swallowed him whole. Certainly. Here's the finalized version of Chapter 1, Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper with all corrections integrated.
Right. Sounds weird.
Open book Chapter
Sounds
1,
a little off,
The Forgotten
sure.
Blood. Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper. Snow hissed on the Part. Open book Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 2, Orders by Firelight. The coals in the brazier were dying. Red light pulsed low in the tent, shadows curling around the edges like waiting wolves. Doc sat cross-legged, hands resting loosely on his knees. He hadn't removed his cloak. Melted frost pooled around his boots, but he didn't seem to feel the cold. His eyes were fixed on the fire, unmoving. Across from him, Varkin crouched in silence. He held a blackened twig in one hand, poking the coals with quiet patience. 24 years, Doc said, his voice low. And only now you claim her. I didn't claim, Varkin replied. I waited. Waited for what? To know if the blood was real. Docs gave a short exhale, not quite a laugh. You think blood cares about waiting? Varkin tossed the twig into the coals. It cracked once, then vanished in the red glow. She survived that long without a tribe, Varkin said. Which means she has something in her. Or she's just lucky. There are rats in Barenthal that live longer. Varkin looked up. His expression didn't shift. You resent this? Docs met his gaze. She's human. She's soft. You're handing the clan to someone who's never held a spear, never walked the ice, never made kill sign to the bones. Then teach her. Docs leaned forward slightly. I've followed you since I was a whelp. I've bled for you. Killed for you.
That being said, I just want to point out that it's not Docs. It's just how this fucking shitty AI voice is fucking pronouncing it. It's Dax. It actually sounds like D-A-X. It's D-A-K-S. Or like Docs. Like the whole like it was kind of a play off of a nickname that I use for some games. And kind of like a double for like the orcs DACA kind of thing. And it's just because it would probably do it proper if I did it in another voice, but I don't want to pay for another voice. You can get other voices and they're really good, but I don't want to get the subscription because the subscription's absurd unless you buy a year. It's like $30 a month if you want a month of it, or it's something fucking absurd. It's something absurd where it's like too goddamn much for 1 month. And then when you buy a year, like it's completely ridiculously cheaper. Like there's no like the month is a ripoff. I hate when companies do that. They make the discrepancy so far that it's like, well, if you pay for it for 1 month and then you get 4 months, you've paid for a year, so you might as well just buy a year. You're like, but I don't have money for a year. I have money for a month. Like, but it's 4 months, but I don't have money for 4 months. If I have money for 4 months, I'd have money for a year and I'd get a fucking year. Anyway, we shall continue. We've got a few more bits left in this
Watch
part.
half the old chiefs die in the snow so you could keep your rule clean. And you pass it on to what? A seamstress's daughter. You think I owe you a crown? Varkin asked. No, I think you owe the clan someone who knows it.
Oh, shit. You think I owe you the crown, he said. God damn. He's checking him. He rank checked him real quick. You think I owe you a crown? Oh, I love that. I fucking love that.
The fire cracked between them. Varkin didn't move. You are the sharpest weapon I ever forged, he said at last. But I didn't forge a chieftain. Dox looked away. Varkin stood and picked up the blade. The same wrapped dagger, cloth stained gray with years and use. He held it out across the fire. Dox hesitated. Then rose slowly and took it. She doesn't get this yet, Varkin said. You keep it until she earns it. Dox tucked the blade into his belt.
Get ready for it.
If she fails, you know what to do. Dox nodded once, no emotion in his face. She doesn't speak the old tongue, he said. She doesn't know our rights. She'll flinch at blood. Then break her flinching, Varkin said. Or bury her in the snow.
Oh,
Dox
shit!
turned to leave. Varkin's voice came one last time. Dox. He paused at the tent flap. Don't make her into me. Dox stood silent for a moment. Then without a word, he stepped out into the storm. The wind swallowed him.
Oh, shit! That's the end of part 2. That's where we're at. God damn. That's just so dope. That fucking story is fucking... It's panning out, I think. I think it's panning out, boys. What say you? What say you, critiques of lore? What do you guys think? No, that was the first draft. That was the first draft. The AI fucking didn't take the character information. She was older when they went to get her. They were like, oh, she's fucking 16 winters ago. It's like, no. So I need to go in and like tell it, don't say this. The tribe said something about, or the leader said something about she's mine, and it just sounded real weird. It didn't sound cool. So I was like, and then I told it to change that to, what does it say? Something about she's mine, like bring her back, or she's mine, she'll lead. And by that, it meant like, she's my child, she'll lead. But I was like, that sounds fucking weird, right? It just sounds goofy. And we went with blood calls, she'll lead. Right? Blood calls is what we went with after that. So they're going to spit some shit out, and I'm going to be like, get rid of that, switch this for this, switch this for this. That doesn't make sense. And then hopefully we will end up with a coherent fucking story at some point, but we'll get there. We'll get there, I guess. How's the built-in read aloud? Oh, that's way better. Oh, that's way better. Turn this other garbage off. Holy shit. Can we do as much as we want with that voice? Holy shit, that's way better. Turn this off, bro. Turn this off. Get rid of this shit. That's way fucking better. Turn this off, bro. Get rid of that. Fuck that noise. Here we go. Let's listen to that again under that. Oh, that's so much better. Why isn't it coming? Wait, what? 1 second. One second. You guys can't hear it. What's going on here?
Scent of leather, smoke, and steel.
Oh,
hung
bro,
thick in the air.
that is
Varkun
10,000
sat
times
cross-legged
fucking
before the
better,
fire,
boys. Listen to this
sharpening a
shit.
dagger that... Certainly. Here's the
Here we go,
finalized
here we go.
version of Chapter 1, Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper, with all corrections integrated. Hash. Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper. Snow hissed on the stretched-hide roof above the chieftain's tent, whispering like 1,000 ghosts. Flames in the iron brazier spat low light and shadows across the blood-streaked furs. The scent of leather, smoke, and steel hung thick in the air. Varkun sat cross-legged before the fire, sharpening a dagger that no longer needed it. His tusks were cracked with age, his hair pulled into rough iron rings. Scars latticed his arms like a second skin, earned, not taken. The blade in his hand was
much
not
better.
ceremonial. It had killed men.
So much
He had
better.
not spoken in some time. Across the tent, the messenger waited. Torgan, wrapped in damp furs, his breath wheezing in and out, once a whisper walker, now only old. She lives, Torgan said. South. The girl, born 24 winters past, from the Varinthal woman. Varkun didn't look up. The dagger sang once more along the whetstone. Sure of this? I saw her. Same eyes as yours. She heals fighters in the slums, doesn't know her blood.
Okay, I might
blade
have to
Why
renew a
now?
month of this shit.
She's grown.
I
Stronger
might have
than
to renew a
expected.
month of this.
And the clan whispers, you've no heir. Varkun set the blade aside and rose. He crossed the tent, knelt at the buried stone in the back, and pulled out a cloth-wrapped object. He unwrapped it slowly. A short, broad-bladed dagger with a hilt of mammoth horn, the frostbone rune carved deep at its root. Send Dax, he said. Torgan blinked. Him? He'll do it right.
He says my name
Won't
right.
speak
Yes.
when he shouldn't. Won't flinch
Yes.
if blood spilled. He won't like it. No, Varkun said, wrapping the blade again. He won't. Dax entered not long after. The flap opened to shrieking wind, then fell shut behind him. He stepped in without bowing. You summoned, he said. Varkun stood across the brazier. I have a task. South, into human land. Dax frowned. Raiding season's over. This is not for raiding, it's for blood. Dax said nothing. I have a daughter, Varkun said. 24 winters old, half-blood, raised in Varinthal. Dax's jaw shifted. You kept that hidden. I had my reasons. She's not one of us. Then make her one. Dax's stare hardened. You mean to bring her back? Varkun nodded once. She's of my blood. Blood calls. She'll lead. A long silence. Dax looked at the blade, still wrapped. He didn't reach for it. You think she's worthy? Varkun stared into the flames. That's your task to answer. Dax stepped forward, took the bundle and turned for the exit. Varkun's voice stopped him. Don't make her into me. Dax paused, said nothing, then stepped into the storm. Snow swallowed him whole.
That's something I noticed as well. The the implications of that are something that I don't really like to include in my stories. But it's not that. It's not that. You know where that's going? I ain't saying any more than that. We know the implications of this. We're not going there. That's a good point, though. That is something we will have to work out. Oh man, I feel like I do want to get a month subscription to this so we can go through and I can actually flesh this stuff out. But I also I know, like, I'm only gonna have, like, maybe a week at the most to actually do shit. So I'm like, fuck. Right? Do I bother, right? Like, but yes, good point. I need you guys to pick out the fucking spots in the lore. I need to keep you guys around. All right. All right. Yes, absolutely. It's a story that I've had in my head that has never really been fleshed out. But I feel like it's a really fucking cool story. So let me see here. I'm going to get my own tunes here so that it's not as loud when I play it. Just give me a sec here. Welcome back, friend. We have a better narrator. Oh shit, but I don't know if I can start where I left off. That kind of sucks.
Certainly. Here's the finalized version of Chapter 1, Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper.
I wish I had more
Corrections
control
integrated.
over the voice, though.
Hash. Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper. Snow hissed on the stretched-hide roof above the chieftain's tent, whispering like 1,000 ghosts. Flames in the iron brazier spat low light and shadows across the blood-streaked furs. The scent of leather, smoke and steel hung thick in the air. Varkun sat cross-legged before the fire, sharpening a dagger that no longer needed it. His tusks were cracked with age, his hair pulled into rough iron rings. Scars latticed his arms like a second skin, earned, not taken. The blade in his hand was not ceremonial. It had killed men. He had not spoken in some time. Across the tent, the messenger waited. Torgun, wrapped in damp furs, his breath wheezing in and out, once a whisper walker, now only old. She lives, Torgun said. South, the girl, born 24 winters past, from the Varinthal woman. Varkun didn't look up. The dagger sang once more along the whetstone. Sure of this? I saw her. Same eyes as yours. She heals fighters in the slums, doesn't know her blood. The blade stopped. Why now? She's grown. Stronger than expected. And the clan whispers you've no heir. Varkun set the blade aside and rose. He crossed the tent, knelt at the buried stone in the back, and pulled out a cloth-wrapped object. He unwrapped it slowly. A short, broad-bladed dagger with a hilt of mammoth horn, the frostbone rune carved deep at its root. Send Dax, he said. Torgun blinked. Him? He'll do it right. Won't speak where he shouldn't. Won't flinch if blood's spilled. He won't like it. No, Varkun said, wrapping the blade again. He won't. Dax entered not long after. The flap opened to shrieking wind, then fell shut behind him. He stepped in without bowing. You summoned, he said. Varkun stood across the brazier. I have a task. South, into human land. Dax frowned. Raiding season's over. This is not for raiding, it's for blood. Dax said nothing. I have a daughter, Varkun said. 24 winters old, half-blood. Raised in Varinthal. Dax's jaw shifted. You kept that hidden. I had my reasons. She's not one of us. Then make her one. Dax's stare hardened. You mean to bring her back? Varkun nodded once. She's of my blood. Blood calls. She'll lead. A long silence. Dax looked at the blade, still wrapped. He didn't reach for it. You think she's worthy? Varkun stared into the flames. That's your task to answer. Dax stepped forward, took the bundle and turned for the exit. Varkun's voice stopped him. Don't make her into me. Dax paused, said nothing, then stepped into the storm. Snow swallowed him whole.
That's chapter 1, part 1. This music seems way better. Right here, I'll start part 2 of chapter 1 right here.
Open book chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 2.
Chapter 1. The Forgotten Blood. Part 2. Orders by Firelight. The coals in the brazier were dying. Red light pulsed low in the tent, shadows curling around the edges like waiting wolves. Dax sat cross-legged, hands resting loosely on his knees. He hadn't removed his cloak. Melted frost pooled around his boots, but he didn't seem to feel the cold. His eyes were fixed on the fire, unmoving. Across from him, Varkan crouched in silence. He held a blackened twig in one hand, poking the coals with quiet patience. 24 years, Dax.
Excellent catch, and exactly the kind of continuity vigilance this story. Of course. Here's the fully revised and finalized.
I need a drink. I'm gonna be back. We need to do this. We got the sound. We got the first whole chapter. It's rough, very rough draft of the first chapter, so please stick around. Okay? We're gonna be going through. We're gonna check it out. It's gonna be awesome, all right? Stick around. When I get back, we'll start this up. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, are we ready? Are we ready?
Of course. Here's the fully revised and finalized version of Chapter 1, Part 1. With the timeline corrected, continuity fixed, and written to the maximum extent of my capabilities for immersive depth and emotional weight. Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 1, The Blade and the Whisper. Snow hissed against the stretched hide roof of the war tent, soft but endless, like the breath of something old and patient. Inside, the fire pit burned low, more embers than flame, and shadows slithered along the furs and sharpened bones mounted on the central post. The air smelled of iron, smoke, and stale blood. Chief Varkun of the Frostbone clan sat cross-legged near the fire, bare arms folded across his knees. His tusks were chipped, his hair bound in iron rings, his face cut through with time. He wore no armor. He didn't need it. Across the fire, a man waited. Torgan. Once a whisper walker in the frost hunts, now a limping courier whose left eye never quite tracked with the right. He stood with his hood down, snow melting in his beard. Neither of them spoke. Varkun's hand moved, slow and precise, drawing a whetstone across a short dagger. Not a ceremonial blade, this one had meat on it. The edge sang softly in the silence. "She lives," Torgan said at last. His voice rasped from the cold. "South, in the stone city, Varinthal." The whetstone paused. Varkun didn't look up. "The girl?" Torgan nodded. "The one from the seamstress. The woman you left there 24 winters past." Varkun resumed sharpening. "She's grown. Makes coin-patching wounds in the back alleys. Keeps her head down. Half human, but the other half, it's yours. I saw it. And the mother? Still lives, or did last I passed through." The dagger gleamed briefly in the firelight. Varkun set the stone down. His eyes, pale grey, almost colourless, lifted and fixed on the old scout. She's never been claimed, he said. No, Torgan replied. No name, no clan, but words leaking out. There are whispers now. The younger blades say you've no heir. Varkun stood, his joints cracked softly. He walked to the rear of the tent, where a low boulder sat half buried in the hard-packed dirt. From behind it he drew a cloth-wrapped bundle, long and narrow, and knelt to unwrap it. Inside lay a knife. Its hilt was carved from polished mammoth horn, bone-white and weather-worn. The blade itself was dark steel, simple but cruel, broad as a man's hand at its base. Carved at the hilt, a broken X, the frostbone rune, split strength. Varkun stared at it. She doesn't know what she is, Torgan said. She will, Varkun replied. She's not ready. No one is. He rewrapped the blade. Torgan hesitated. You'll bring her back? I won't. The old scout raised a brow. Then who? Varkun's voice came low and clear. Send Dax. There was a pause. Torgan stepped forward, voice quieter now. You trust him with this? He is exact. He is merciless. Good. Torgan frowned. He won't like it. You know that. He doesn't need to like it. He needs to do it. Varkun looked up. Dax won't lie to her. He won't pity her. He'll show her what the world is. And if she breaks... Varkun bound the blade and rose. Then she breaks. He walked back to the fire, crouched down and held the cloth-wrapped dagger out toward the flames. Not offering it, just feeling the heat. Torgan shifted his weight. Why now, Varkun? The chief didn't look at him, because the frost is thinning. The old blood grows thin with it. We don't need another warlord. Then what do we need? He stared into the coals. Something that survives. A gust of wind howled against the tent, making the leather walls ripple and the fire dance. Varkun stood again. Bring Dax. Torgan paused at the flap. She'll be like nothing he's ever seen, he said. A city-grown woman, soft-skinned, speaks in coin, wears linen, no scars. Varkun looked at the dagger in his hands. She's of my blood, he said. Blood calls. She'll lead. Torgan nodded once, then pulled the flap open and disappeared into the night. Outside, the wind screamed. Inside, Varkun stood alone, the old blade held tight in one hand, the fire painting red across his face. End of Chapter 1, Part 1. Shall I proceed to Part 3, The Long Ice, now? Or would you like to lock in anything else first?
We're on Part 2 there next, boys. Blood calls, baby. Blood calls, right? You like that? You like the passing of seasons? Now, keep in mind, I didn't write this exact version of this. I have like my outline, and I'm using AI to fill in the stuff that I needed to do because I am not a writer or a good writer. So I'm feeding my lore into the AI and saying, this is how everything is. Spit something out, and then it's coming back, and I'm like, no. This, and this needs to be fixed. Go, take that back. This doesn't sound right. But the story itself is mine. Yeah, so that definitely sounds way better because if that's the case, then Torgan, it indicates there why Torgan is in that town, too. Where was it? Where was it that it said? Where was it that Torgan said? Where it said about him being a scout or a messenger or something to that extent. Where is it? Yeah, Torgan found her and brought news back. Torgan is the reason they know. He's like, I seen her. She has your eyes. Because he is a... What did it say? Where did it say Torgan? Once a whisper walker in the Frost Hunts, now a limping courier whose left eye never quite tracked with the right. Also, Dan, is the character in the background? No. This is like many years have passed since this happened, since this whole story happened. This story, basically this whole story that I'm writing, ends where all of this stuff, extra lore that I'm building on, starts. Right? Without too many spoilers, the people I'm making are way later, a couple decades later or so. A little over 2 decades later. And part of the tribe. Excuse me. Yeah, Dax has long since been on wild adventures and shit. Dax did all kinds of shit. This would be the prologue to the videos that we'll be doing for the game, right? Because I can't adjust the story to make it for this world, so we will say, okay, this group of Frostbone from the Frostbone tribe of today is going out on their trip. So yeah, like kind of like a prologue, right? Or the whole backstory of how the modern Frostbone tribe came to exist. These were our first tabletop RPG characters. We got super attached to them. And like I was like, this needs to be like a whole ass story. We can include these characters, could be included as the same world as like the goblins and, you know what I mean, our goblin friends and all that shit. So here we're going to start the second part of the first chapter. Okay, you guys ready? Let's lock this in and see how it goes. These are all incredibly rough drafts, remember. Guys, if you want, if you have that creative shit and you can feed what you have into the AI and work with it. Like, use it. It's a great tool, man. It's a great tool for people who want to write but don't have good punctuation, or, you know what I mean, don't have great grammar or whatever. You know what I mean? That's my main reason for using it, is because, you know, although I got through, you know, my school, right? I got my school education. It's a fucking public school education. That's for goddamn sure. All right, so let's do it. Let's go. Ready? And here we go.
Understood. Here's the fully integrated and consistent Chapter 1, Part 2, Orders by Firelight, picking up exactly where Part 1 left off, with Torgon fetching Dax and Varkan waiting inside the war tent. Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood, Orders by Firelight. The tent flap opened with a hiss of wind and snow. Dax entered without asking. He didn't bow. He never had. The fire in the brazier had dropped to glowing coals, casting long, flickering shadows over the thick hides pinned along the walls. Dax brushed the frost from his cloak as he stepped inside. His boots left wet marks in the earth. The long axe on his back shifted slightly with his stride. Varkan didn't speak. He stood near the fire with the cloth-wrapped blade in his hand. Dax stopped a few steps in, eyes narrowing as they landed on the bundle. You summoned. I did. You've got the look of a man who's going to say something I won't like. Varkan stepped closer into the deeper red glow. His bare arms were folded, muscles veined and scarred, shadows thick beneath his brow. I have work for you. South? Varkan nodded. Raid? No, Dax frowned. Then what? There's a girl in Varinthal. Dax was quiet a long beat. Then he exhaled slowly through his nose, the one from the whispers. She's mine. Dax tilted his head slightly. She's 24 now, isn't she? She is. And you've done nothing about her for 24 winters. I do something now. You sure it's yours? I'm sure enough. Dax stepped around the fire, pacing slowly, boots crunching lightly over grit. So this is what it's come to. You have a daughter by a human, raised in southern filth, and you decide it's time to put the frostbone in her hands. She's of my blood, Varkan said, and blood calls. She'll lead. Dax turned sharply, eyes flashing. Led what? She's never walked tundra, never heard war drums. She'll bleed from frostbite in her first night. She's survived 24 winters without a tribe. That's not nothing. No, that's luck, and it runs out fast. Varkun said nothing. You want me to drag her back here? Dax said. Why not send a scout? Why not go yourself? Varkun walked to him and held out the wrapped blade between both hands. Dax stared at it. I trust you not to lie to her, and not to spare her. Dax didn't take the blade yet. His jaw worked once. If I find her soft, you teach her. If she breaks, you end her. The silence that followed was heavy. It pulsed with unsaid things, old words left to rot behind the tongue. Dax finally took the blade, weighing it in one hand. His thumb traced the outline of the frostbone rune through the cloth. His grip was steady, but his voice wasn't warm. I've given you 30 years, and I've trusted you with my clan, Varkun said. But I've also seen what happens when I die and leave nothing behind. You think she's something? I think she could be. Dax stared into the fire. You've always said leadership was earned. It still is. You want me to make her into you? Varkun shook his head. Don't make her into me. The old ways die with me if they have to, but not the people. Dax said nothing for a long moment, then turned and walked to the flap. Varkun's voice came once more, low and final. Give her the blade only when she earns it. The wind howled outside. Dax pulled the flap back, stepped into the dark, and vanished into the cold. End of Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 3, The Long Ice. The wind was a living thing on the tundra. It screamed and bit and scraped, dragging razored snow across stone ridges and broken trees, howling through the narrow passes like a beast starving in the dark. Somewhere beneath it, under the endless grey sky, Dax walked, head down, axe across his back, a long furred cloak trailing behind him like the shadow of something hunted. He had crossed the ghost pass by dawn of the third day. Didn't sleep, didn't stop. A single dried mammoth rib strapped to his pack, a flask of fermented root bark, and the dagger Varkun had given him, still wrapped, still unread. He hadn't looked at it once since leaving. There was nothing in it for him. Not yet. He moved through the snow like a stone through water, clean, focused, alone. This was how Dax preferred the world, cold, honest, unspoken. The mountains fell behind. Ahead, the ice plains stretched for days, broken only by jagged formations of blackened rock and old mammoth skulls, long since picked clean. 1,000 years of frostbone had passed through this land. Warbands, fire seekers, bone priests who carved their names into elk antlers and buried them in snow to speak with the storm. Dax had crossed it twice before, both times to kill. Now he came to collect. He hated the thought. He stopped at a wind-carved ridge and looked out across the land. Everything south of here was Stone City territory. Dirt roads, markets, glass windows, taverns and whore dens, spoken tongues wrapped in pleasantries and excuses. Dax hated those too. He dropped into a crouch and scraped the snow away until he reached stone. Drew a symbol in the frost with his finger, an X with a jagged slash through the center. The frostbone mark. The fracture of strength. He stared at it a long moment, then erased it and stood. Memories clung to the cold. He remembered the first time Varkun gave him an order. He had been 13 winters, bare-shouldered, bloody-knuckled, wrapped in furs that weren't his own. He'd fought a larger boy with a sharpened bone club and nearly lost an eye. Varkun had watched the fight silently, then taken him aside afterward and handed him a stone axe. You don't win by force, he'd said. You win because you endure longer than anyone else. That was the lesson. Survive the cold longer, bite harder, stand after the others fall. And now that same man, his chief, his blood uncle in all but name, had cast it all onto a girl who'd never seen a snow line. A girl raised by humans, in streets, not ice, surrounded by mud and merchants, a seamstress's daughter. Dax ground his teeth. He had followed every command, had shed frostbone blood only when needed. Had taken none of the rewards he could have claimed, never asked for a place on the Elder Ring, never questioned Varkun's rule, until now. This was doubt, this was softness. He walked on. By nightfall he reached the old trade spine road. Wagon tracks half filled with slush, human scent on the wind, horses, sweat, dung, oil, the stink of civilization. Dax stopped just short of the rise. In the distance, nestled between the cliffs and rivers of the Southland Basin, was a smear of smoke and stone. Varenthal. He crouched beneath a pine and drank from his flask. The bark liquor bit like a blade, but it kept the cold out of the chest. His breath fogged in the air as he watched the city. Lights, movement, laughter in the wind, soft. He looked down at the bundle at his side. Still wrapped, still quiet. He didn't unwrap it. He didn't pray. He stood, slung his axe tighter over his shoulder, and started down the hill toward the gates. End of Chapter 1, Part... Understood. I'll continue with maximum depth, sensory immersion, and emotional subtext. Here is Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 4, City of Smoke. The gates of Varinthal stood tall but tired. Stone archways pocked by age, iron bars dulled by rust, watched over by bored men in boiled leather. One spat as Dax passed beneath, muttering something under his breath. Dax didn't hear the words. Or maybe he did. He simply didn't care. The moment he crossed under the gate, the world changed. Gone was the sound of wind over snow. Here it was horseshoes clattering on cobble, barkers shouting prices, steam rising from sewer grates, the constant wet thud of boots slapping into filth. Smoke poured from a dozen chimneys, mixing with the stink of cooked fat, rotting fruit, dog piss and coal. People pressed past him like water around a boulder, most avoiding his eyes. Some didn't. Those who didn't look twice for long. He moved slowly, head down, cloak hiding most of his bulk. Even so, he drew glances. Scarred orcs weren't common in Varinthal, and none with his eyes, pale, storm-coloured, cold. This city, Dax thought, was built to rot. He passed through the outer ring, merchant squares stacked with stalls, barkers screaming over one another, wagons overloaded with textiles and dried root vegetables. He saw a man whip a boy for dropping a sack of nails. The boy didn't cry. That was something. Further in, the roads narrowed. The streets curved at unnatural angles. Stone gave way to muddy brick, old wooden facades leaning into each other like they'd long since given up standing tall. Laundry flapped on frayed lines overhead, and sharp-eyed children stared from second-story windows. He crossed into the East Quarter by mid-afternoon. Here, the stench thickened. Drunken song drifted from a half-collapsed tavern. Two girls fought in a side alley over a loaf of bread, one bleeding from the cheek. Dax kept walking. He didn't belong here. Every inch of him itched with it, but he knew how to track, and she would leave a trail. It took less than an hour to find the first name. A blood-smeared bare-knuckle brawler sat outside a backstreet apothecary, flexing a swollen hand wrapped in a crude cloth. Dax approached him slowly. The man glanced up, squinting. "You don't look local," he said. Dax said nothing. "You here for a fix, or to open my other eye?" "I need a name." The man shifted. "That costs." Dax dropped a silver ring into his palm. Not coin, frostbone cut, etched with a symbol the man didn't recognize but understood all the same. "Mia Holden," Dax said. The brawler snorted. "The Stitch?" Dax didn't answer. "She's 3 alleys down. 4th door, red cloth in the window. Good luck, she's got a mean set of words." Dax nodded once. He walked on. The deeper alleys narrowed to single lanes. Dax had to duck once under a collapsed beam. Rainwater pooled in the gutters. Rats didn't even bother hiding here. He passed a corpse slumped beneath a staircase. No one had claimed it, which meant it was poor. Then he saw the red cloth. 4th door. The building leaned left like it was caught mid-fall. The door was crooked, painted blue long ago, now flaking in long vertical strips. The window was fogged. Light glowed behind it, flickering with candle fire. He knocked once. No answer. He waited. Then the door opened. A woman stood framed in the narrow doorway, eyes level with his chest. She had sharp cheekbones, brown hair pulled back tight, sleeves rolled, hands stained with ink and plant dye. She wore a canvas apron crusted with dried herbs and what looked like blood. A scar ran from her collarbone down beneath her shirt. She didn't flinch. "Who are you?" "Alira Holden," he asked. The woman's face hardened. She reached for something just inside the door. Dax didn't move. "I'm not here to hurt you. You'll forgive me if I don't believe that." He nodded once. "I'm not here for you. I'm here for your daughter." A pause. Her hand dropped from whatever she was reaching for. "She's not home. She will be." Alira looked him over again, slowly, from the boots to the tusks, to the eyes that matched a memory she'd buried deep and tried to drown. "You look like him," she said. "I was raised by him," Dax replied. She stepped back from the door. He entered. The apothecary was a narrow room with low ceilings and shelves packed with jars, roots, powders, dried moss, bones, teeth. A cot in the back, a curtain hiding a wash basin. Smoke from a little brazier filled the space with the sharp tang of birch bark. I knew this day would come, Alira said. She sat on a low stool, pulled a knife from her belt and began peeling a root. I always knew. She doesn't know. No, she should. Alira paused, blade resting against the root's skin. She's not like you, she said. She's kind, clever, she saves people. She'll need more than that where she's going. Alira looked at him. She's not going anywhere. Dax said nothing. Footsteps scraped on the stair outside. Then the door creaked. Ma? A voice. Female. Young but firm. The girl who entered had her sleeves rolled to the elbow, a satchel over one shoulder, and a leather band around her wrist. Her skin was pale but freckled, her frame lean. She looked like someone who knew how to slip through crowds, not push through them. A fighter in the way of alley-born girls, fists first, heart hidden. Her eyes were grey, not Elira's. Dax turned slowly to face her. She stopped in the doorway, blinking once. Her eyes flicked from her mother to Dax, to the firelight catching his tusks. The silence stretched. Alira, she said slowly. Who the hell is this? End of chapter 1, part 4. Next up, part 5, The Broken Family. Alira and Dax argue over Mia's future. Mia and Dax speak for the first time. The tension builds under the quiet roof. Fire will force them all into motion. Shall I continue?
Oh, shit! Plot thickens! Yeah, I wrote I got these to do a bunch of it all at once, so we'll have to kind of go back and rework stuff as a whole, because I feel like doing it as a whole chapter would probably be better, a little more consistent. But yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, we got a couple more parts of the first chapter. Yeah, as far as like him showing up with his face covered alone, right? Not that weird, right? A group of like 5, 6 plus orcs, people would be freaking the fuck out. Right? In this world, right? That's how I envision that. It'll be like an orc or two. Nobody's really, you know what I mean? They're going to look at you funny, right? They're going to throw some slurs, right? Someone might say shit to you until they get grabbed, and then they'll be like, oh, right? That kind of deal, right? But if there's 5, 6, 7 plus orcs, the city guard might be alerted to their presence, kind of thing, right? And it wouldn't be hard to pick out like a raiding tribe versus someone who like, right, like an old courier, right? Like an orc who's like an old courier who's, you know what I mean? Right, where there's these people, they're not like just separate, completely separate, right? All of these races will kind of travel. It's not segregated like that. There will, like, obviously those people can't go into the north like that. They'll just fucking die. They'll just freeze and die if they're not prepared. So generally you won't see a lot of them, but you will see other like frost gnomes, or dwarves rather, frost dwarves, giants, stuff like that. All right, let's start part 5.
Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Part 5, The Broken Family. Mia Holden stood in the doorway with a furrowed brow and her hand tightening slightly on the strap of her satchel. The room was too quiet, her mother not speaking, the stranger too still. She knew what danger felt like. She smelled it in alleys and heard it in men's breathing before they drew knives. This man wasn't loud or drunk or cornered, but he was dangerous. His eyes told her that. Grey, flat as a frozen lake. Orc blood, no doubt. She'd seen a few of them on the south roads, mercenaries mostly. Never one this still. Never one who looked like he was waiting for something. "Ma," Mia said again, more slowly, "who is he?" Elira didn't answer right away. She stood up from her stool and set the peeled root down on the counter beside the apothecary tools. "Mia," she said, her voice calm but tight around the edges, "put your satchel down. Wash your hands. We need to talk." "No," Mia said, eyes never leaving Dax. "I think I'm good standing right here." Dax watched her without blinking. "You're taller than I expected." Mia blinked. "What?" "Your eyes," he said. "Same as his." "Who?" "Your father." Elira flinched at the word. Mia's mouth moved, then stopped. Her grip tightened on the leather strap. "My father is dead." "Correct," Dax said, "but not the way you think." Mia looked at her mother now. "What's he talking about?" Elira stepped between them. "Mia." "No." Dax said, "She should hear it." "I said, 24 winters ago," Dax continued, eyes still on Mia, "your mother was taken during a raid near the southern border. Not by force. She left willingly. A man named Varkan, chieftain of the Frostbone, took her north. She left before the spring thaw. You were born the next winter." Mia stared at him. "What the fuck are you talking about?" Elira's face was pale now, her lips pressed thin. "Mia." "I was going to tell you when the time was right," Elira said. "When you were ready." "Ready?" Mia laughed once, no humour in it. "Ready for what? To find out I'm half, what, orc? Ice tribe? Some kind of exile freak spawn?" Dax didn't react. "You're not exile," he said. "You're blood, Frostbone. Your father was our chief." "My father," Mia said slowly, "was a man who left before I could speak, who never wrote, never came back, and now he's dead?" "Yes." "And you want what? Gratitude?" "No." Dax said, "I want you to come north." Mia blinked. "Excuse me?" "You're being called back. The clan has fallen. What's left of it needs a leader." Mia looked at Elira. "Is this a joke?" Elira's eyes were glassy now.
The stop because they fucked up. It fucked up it fucked up part 5 of the chapters. It was saying that her father was dead. And he's definitely not dead. See, so this is where you have to step in and adjust the story, right? Because the AI sometime will just get fucking go AI with it and fucking Skynet your shit. Okay, just give me a sec here. Oh, fuck, guys. Am I going to have to fucking... I'm going to be streaming this for a while if this is the case, boys. We're going to barely get these fucking characters created, huh? Oh, no, it's cutting me off again, boys. It's cutting me off again. It wants money. I might have to give it money, boys, to fucking spit this shit out. So here is what it's planning on doing for... Do you guys want the full kind of summary of the story? Because I got a summary here now, and it's very loose, but... You guys want the full kind of like summary of what the idea is? And again, this not final, very rough, and probably some AI weird shit.
Absolutely. Thank you for the sharp observation. You're right again. In Part 5, Dax says, "Your father is dead," which contradicts the timeline established in Chapter 1, where Chief Varkun is alive, sending Dax to retrieve...
let's see here.
That line mistakenly implies the Chief has already died, when he should still be... Chapter 1, The Forgotten Blood. Summary. In the Frostbone war tents, aging Chief Varkun learns of a secret daughter raised in the south. Against his council's wishes, he sends his most trusted warrior, Dax, to retrieve her. Dax is bitter, having expected to inherit leadership himself. Meanwhile, Mia Halden, a half-orc apothecary in the human city of Varenthal, lives unaware of her heritage. When Dax arrives, her world ignites, literally. Enemies set her home ablaze. Her mother stays behind to buy her time. With no choice, Mia flees into the night with a stranger and a buried truth wrapped in cloth. Chapter 2. The Bone Messenger. Summary. Mia and Dax travel north across hostile land. Mia grieves and lashes out. Dax trains her with zero patience. He tests her endurance, making her walk through ice storms, drink from rivers, and defend herself with improvised weapons. Along the way, they fend off bounty hunters and bandits, some sent by people who want her dead. Mia begins to realize she's not just a burden or heir, she's a target. Dax slowly begins to see sparks of her father in her, though he'll never admit it. Chapter 3. Ashes of the Frostbone. Summary. They reach the Frostbone encampment to find it ravaged. Giant tracks, frozen corpses, campsite half buried in snow and blood. A few survivors remain. The seer Ugra, a limping huntress named Rivka, and a boy named Korik. Dax is gutted. He left a full tribe and returned to ruin. Ugra declares Mia the chief's blood and heir. Mia, sick with grief and guilt, tries to reject it, but the survivors are desperate, and she's all they have. Chapter 4, The Rite of Fracture. Summary. To claim her place, Mia must undergo the Frostbone Rite of Command. Survive a night in the ice caves without fire, food, or steel. Dax opposes it. It's tradition, but foolish. Mia insists. In the dark, she battles cold hallucinations and a frost wolf. When she returns, she's frostbitten, bloodied, and quiet. But she's alive. She earns their silence. Not respect. Not yet. Chapter 5, Stone and Sinew. Summary. Leadership begins. Badly. Mia tries to organize shelter, assign scouts, and ration food, but her ways are too foreign. Dax undercuts her decisions when he disagrees. Rivka questions her openly. Korik spits at her feet. But slowly, Mia earns ground. She saves a dying child, negotiates food from a human merchant, fixes broken boots by hand. Small victories. She begins to speak in the old tongue. Dax watches in silence, still judging, still waiting. Chapter 6, Bitter Lessons. Summary. When scouts spot a giant in the valley, Mia wants to hide. Dax wants to kill. Mia is outvoted, but follows Dax to watch. In the ensuing fight, she saves his life with an improvised trap. The giant falls. The tribe feasts on it, symbolically reclaiming dominance. That night, Dax sits beside her fire for the first time. He tells her something small about Varkun, not glory, but a mistake. Their bond shifts, not warmth, but recognition. Chapter 7, The Cold Within. Summary. As winter deepens, internal tension rises. The tribe is divided by his humane vision and Dak's survivalist logic. Ugra warns of another frost coming, not just weather, but spiritual. When an argument over discipline turns violent and a boy is nearly killed, Mia orders changes to tradition. Trials before punishment, shelters for the weak. Half the camp resists, but Dax enforces her word for the first time. Quietly, without question. Chapter 8, The Lost Bones Return. Summary, one morning, horns sound. A small caravan arrives. Survivors, a former scout group who escaped the giant raid, led by an old rival of Dax, now humbled. They bring with them news. The giants were hired by southern humans. A new enemy is rising. More importantly, the arrival triples the Frostbone numbers. Rebuilding begins in earnest. Mia forms a council. Dax drills new warriors. Korik becomes her shadow. The rebirth has begun. Chapter 9, Teeth in the Snow. The southern enemy sends a scouting force north. Mia intercepts them, choosing to spare one captive for interrogation. Dax argues its weakness, but the intel the captive gives them reveals something critical. The warlord paying the giants plans to enslave the north. Mia realizes this isn't about revenge anymore. It's about claiming territory. For the first time, she gives an offensive order. Chapter 10, The War Chief. Summary. The Frostbone, reborn and hungry for purpose, march to reclaim an ancient stronghold, Thorncrag, a ruined fortress once held by their ancestors. The siege is brutal. Wolves, mercenaries, saboteurs. Dax leads the charge. Mia takes a wound protecting Rivka. Korik kills his first man. When they raise the Frostbone banner over the crag, the surviving tribe kneels, not to tradition, but to her. Chapter 11, Blood and Ice. Summary, years pass. The Frostbone are no longer a scattered band. Children born after the massacre now train under Dax. Mia's council holds law over neighboring clans. They wear tattoos combining the cracked X with new marks, her marks. Rivka teaches. Korik leads raids. Alira's herbal teachings are practiced in campsite infirmaries, and Mia and Dax, now older, scarred and changed, rule together. They have never called it love, but it is. Chapter 12, The New Frostbone. Summary. A new war brews on the horizon. But for now, peace holds. In the rebuilt stronghold, Mia walks the outer wall and watches children sparring in the yard. Her children, in a way. Dax joins her. They speak of the past. Not with nostalgia, but wait. They're not what came before. Not better. Not weaker. Just different. And rising. When a young warrior asks what the Frostbone are now, Dax answers, same as always. We bury our dead, then we sharpen our blades. Fade to cold. Do you...
Boom! Boom! Yes! Fuck yeah. Good, huh? But unfortunately for now, if we don't give Skynet more money, we don't get any more story. But a pretty good outline of me trying to get my old stories back together again. So it cut me off, and that summary is not finalized yet. It's just kind of an outline. Yeah. Yeah, so, and basically when it says south, it's like everything is south, right? Everything to them is south, right? North is where the wild shit is, right? We are not going to fight North is like frost dragons and shit, right? What the fuck are we going north for, right? Like, we're not going to hunt a dragon, at least not right now, right? That's the only kind of shit you're going to find further north. Crazy wild shit, right? Frost giants, dragons, fucking, you know, yetis and shit like that. Wild, big, strong shit. Yeah, so that's where we're at. And these are people from the tribe, basically, way later at the end of chapter 12, when we're like, you know, we bury our dead, we sharpen our blades like we're still the same. This is the group here. These are the groups that came after that whole story. So that's who we're making, and that's who we're going to follow in this in-game story. So all right, so I say all of that. I say the shit I've been saying over the last 2 hours to say, here we go. That's why we're building these characters. That's why we're here today. So that's where we're at right now, and we are making this will likely be, this is what I was thinking, like daughter of Dax and Mia maybe, but that's like way later timeline maybe, but other people from the groups or whatever. We would have is leading raids now, so we could get him in here. What was, let me see here. Let's go back. We need our, thing here. We're all here today because I got late. What? Oh, shit. Trench, man, I'm telling you, dude, you leverage chat GPT, dude. Leverage that to clean up stuff, man. It really works well. It kind of does this dumb shit, you know, once in a while, and you have to be like, no, don't do that, it's dumb. Sometimes you gotta be like, no, don't do that, it's dumb, but it's still all right. So we could add in that they did have a kid, and that this could be them. This could be the kid. I feel like that might be too lore heavy, though, right now to add in, you know? They're not like fucking D&D 2024 orcs, right? They're not like, oh, we're just fucking humans, right? No, they're not that, but they're not tokens orcs either, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, we ain't gonna be done at this rate. This thing just keeps asking for shit, so it's gonna be slow. What was fucking his name? The up-and-comer here. We need to make him in here, probably. Let's make him the new lead. Fighter, the wanderer, right? We're all wanderers, I guess. Not really, I guess, now. But we're not any of these other things either. So, wanderer's fine. Excuse me. That's still the one we're taking. 2 weapon fighting. Taking athletics and perception. This will be the new training here. Korik. We will make Korik. It says Korik leads raids, right? Or in general, right, leads missions, right? From this point, the tribe will move away from raids as per se, right? There'll be raids in name only, right? You know what I mean? Like the name will be kept raids, but it will basically be missions, right? In which the tribe does as the tribe, right? It's kind of like this integration of orc into like this more standard societal norms of humans and, you know, that sort of thing. Was that Korik? Or was that... I thought Korik was like the kid. Korik, war orphan. He's a war orphan. 15 at the time of the massacre. Roughly some point in his 30s now. All right, let's see here. I can't add anything to the story right now or make any alterations, so we're just going to make the characters now. And this will be... This story will follow Korik and kind of his rise, his first mission, so to speak. right? How he came to be what he is now. And throughout this, right? Going on this mission for the tribe to do stuff and for the betterment of the tribe and the world and kind of, you know, generally speaking. Be like scar. Where is it here? That one on the lip there is looks right. Let's give Cork some hair. And a beard. In a different color. How do we feel about the hair color with like this like bluish gray? So I'm looking at the three colors, right? Something like that reminds me of like a night elf, maybe a bit too much, but it's not bad, right? Then we've got this, which is like a darker grayish blue. And then we've got this, which is a little more bluish. Kind of like the deep glacier sort of thing. What do you guys think? We'll go with this for him. We'll go with this for him, I think. Let's pick a beard here. Yeah, the facial markings white, the bluish skin, and the grayish bluish hair colors. They can go between for any of them, I find. We'll go between those for the different characters. I feel like this is the way for Varric. This kind of no mustache, low beard with... I think that works best, in my opinion. Oops. Wrong thing. Gray eyes. The physique, he's pretty big.
Light, my friend. What I wouldn't give for a nice fire. I'll remember.
That's definitely not
I
him.
win again.
Yeah, that's definitely
Push.
Varric right there.
Kill them all.
That I like. Damn. We're gonna freeze to death. What an idiot. That was something. That's the way. What I wouldn't give for a nice fire.
I hate those.
There we go. Okay. Oh shit, I can't put my backstory in yet because it won't write it. God damn it. It won't write it yet. God damn it. Write more fucking shit. Give me more chat GPT, you fucking AI bitch. You fucking Skynet ass bitch. Oh well, we'll have the story separately. It's all. Does this mean stream tomorrow, or was this completely random? Probably no stream tomorrow. Maybe random. I might do more of these like story streams for a bit, but I still got a lot of stuff to do because we are going to be moving. It's just, excuse me, it's just delayed by a couple weeks sort of thing, or a few weeks. So I'll have to record more content. So I was like, I'll go live today. I'll chat with everybody. We'll do some cool lore shit. The lore turned out to be way more than I thought it was going to be, but it's fucking cool. So that's cool. But yeah. Probably no stream tomorrow. But maybe, who knows? It's not impossible, but probably unlikely. Unless I come up with some shit and I'm like, oh, yes, that's right. Gobbo, you guys got some fucking emotes. Yes. Members, get those emotes. Gobbo Smalls. All right, so we've got Korik here. I think we're pretty much done. Korik's done, boys. Now we have these other characters. These are from other adventures. These are also Frostbone people. Look at this. Right? We got Zack Frostbone. And we've got Audrey Frostbone. These are from another run that me and my wife did. Because these are our characters. We don't have streams consistently right now, but I have uploads consistently right now. And if you're a member, you can go just watch all of the uploads immediately. They're all there for you. But yeah. Yes, that was Drive Shaft. All right, so Korik is done. Korik will be leading this this raid, so to speak. We need Korik's, one of Korik's, like Korik's, like right hand, like the strong stoic orc, a monk. I think seems appropriate. Just quiet, right? Watching on the heater. And the tribe kind of moves into almost like not like a fully orc tribe. It's like a half orc tribe at this point, right? It still contains some of the main orcs, but there's half orcs now that are around, right? This is like the interactions with humans have kind of changed, right? Mia will have been bridging this gap in relations between orcs and humans. There's never any humans in the tribe, though. There's never humans in the tribe. Work very closely, allies, but never in the tribe. Well, this could easily make its way into storylines for tabletop games. I might do this. We could put out this in the world, a one shot in the world. Right, where we do, because I want to do the members one shots. I know I'm behind on those, fucking of course, with all the shit going on. But I think something like this might be the first one shot that we do, and then I'll get a few of you guys who have had memberships but I didn't get to, and I'll just bring you guys into a game. We'll get everybody to make frost orcs, so to speak, and we'll run, a tribe mission. Okay, so we've got the fighter. We're going to have a monk probably, I assume. I'd like to do a fighter. I would get a fighter. We'll do a monk probably, I think. Wanderer, all wanderers. Altruism. Practicality over principles, though. Cynicism. I feel like the cynicism, but pragmatism. Let me see. Kindness. Well, like, up until the point when I actually do it, because I haven't honored any of them yet. Like, if you don't... The people who have gotten one, which is basically Drive Shaft, you, Toast, and Ranger at this point, I'll offer spots to you guys, regardless of your status when I run the first one. You know what I mean? And then if I have to run other ones to get everybody caught up, then we'll do that. I'll owe you one kind of thing, right? I'll owe you guys a one shot. Tries to help those in need. A monk, yes. Okay, practicality over principles. Is a bit more lawful. We'll say lawful, right? Do that. That sounds more like it. And we will go with... Let's go back down here and go that. I'm going to need an 18 here. Come on. Where the 18's at? I don't like that 7 on the end. Oh, 2 18s. Holy shit. Okay. That'll work. 2 12s, a 10 and a 9. Not too fucking bad, man. Not too shabby. Low charisma. Wise, but not super intelligent as per se, right? Of average intelligence, but very wise. Constitution. Okay. Okay. I think that's next on him. Acrobatics over athletics. Religion. All right, let's get rid of hair. Okay. Go. That's it. There we go. That looks crazy good. That looks fucking awesome, dude. See what else we got here, but I think I'm going with that one. Oh. No, I might have to go with that one. That looks more like a monk to me right here. That right there, it definitely looks more like a monk. Cheers, bro. Enjoy, my man. No scars for you. Beard shape. Do we want a beard? I think that beard was actually pretty good. But no beard makes more sense for a monk.
I needed that.
You lose.
Oh, shit.
We're
Guys,
gonna freeze to death.
Which
Damn
voice
it.
did we use for the last guy? Can someone rewind a little bit and check that?
That's the way. Damn! You'll die like the rest.
I feel like we did the first... I feel like we did
Die.
voice 1.
Come on, harder!
I won't miss next time. Didn't think you could do it.
Good kill.
Crap. I'll remember. I owe you one.
Shit. I don't remember what we did, boys. Which voice do we go with? Voice 2? It looks like we went for voice 2.
Good arms you got. Again! What an idiot! We're gonna freeze to death. Kill them all.
Okay. Done there. Okay, age. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Why not finished? Oh, we need a name. Duh. And a face. We don't know if that's the face we want or not. Ooh, I like that face for a monk. His eyes are a little close together, though. Let's see here. I think I like 4 the best. I have no idea what we're going to do with the story just yet. I can't promise you anything, but if we can make it make sense at some point. But I mean, I'm kind of like world building here too, so there's going to be fucking, ideally, there would be like a lot more space for stuff, right? So worry not, there will be space for stuff. I'll be right back. All right. All right. Give me 1 sec. All right. All right. Let me see here. Gorjo. That was one of the ones I used, and I liked it. Gorjo it is. Your fighter, 2 fighters. Female druid. I like the druid, to be honest. Would like to have a bard too, though. I think a warlock might be cool. Fighter, monk, warlock, bard, maybe? Sorcerer bard? Bro, do you guys not use ChatGPT or any AI to like help with your writing if you have trouble with like stuff, like any issues really? Just use it like a tool. It's fucking great, man. It's awesome. I fucking love it. I'll probably regret saying this one day, I'm sure. I'll no doubt regret saying this one fucking day. long rest. Okay, at 10. Accelerate allies within 6 cells. Action atop your regular action and possible bonus action. Feature a long rest. Okay. Dark One's own luck. You could hurl someone through hell. What the fuck? That's wild. Sorceress, maybe? What do you guys think? Sorceress or Warlock? What are we thinking, boys? Wizards draw their magical powers from study and sorcerers from magical bloodlines. Warlocks gain through a pact. Yes, devil power, so to speak, but like god power. But yeah, basically. Sorcerers study, or no. Wizards study, sorcerers get it from bloodline, warlocks gain through pacts. I think someone making a pact to try and for the betterment of the tribe, with the concept of it being resulting in, you know, some questionable things is kind of neat. Like some sort of rune magic, like they gain their powers from ice runes. So something like that would be... Yeah, so something like that I feel like would be learned, right? So we'd be looking at wizard or sorcerer. This is more like eldritch, arcane type stuff, dark type stuff, as opposed to elemental type stuff. I think we'll find the other stuff under wizard. They spend their lives studying, right? They learn from, like runes. Right? I feel like runes would be a wizard. The bloodline would be the sorcerer. I think learned would probably be better for this, for anybody who kind of like took to it. You know what I mean? Because we're not a bloodline tribe, right? Some of the people in the tribe, or some of the like ice orcs, we'll say, are not necessarily like, we're not the only ice orcs, right? And they exist elsewhere, right? And people come and be like, oh shit, other ice orcs, I can join them, right? Even half orcs from that bloodline, from any of the actual ice bloodline can join. Any of the actual frostbone bloodline, even if you're half orc, as long as you carry the blood, you've got an in. You either have to be a frost orc or carry the frostbone, like the original bloodline of, like I don't know. I guess that would have inconsistencies. So you have to, let's say you have to carry ice orc or snow orc or whatever we want to call them, blood, half or otherwise, right? You have to have orc blood, and it has to be frost orc in some capacity. No humans, no elves, no dwarves. Although the guild or the tribe is quite close with the frost dwarfs in this area. Anyway, frost rune. So we'll go with wizard. It's definitely a wizard then in that case. Arcane traditions. Shock arcanist, court mage. What is this? Counterspell, lore master. Additional spells from any class. Flag, nope. Court mage. Let's go lore master. I feel like she's a lore master. If that's the case, then wizard, lore master, wizard. Wanderer, but maybe like an academic or a philosopher. Yeah, right here. We're going with academic on this one. That. Give me 3 18s, baby. Boom, 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 boom. 3 18s. Let's go. Imagine. We're getting closer to where I want to be. That's a pretty good one. We're gonna roll it out though. Oh, that's a great roll. 18, 17, 15, 14, 13, 12. We gotta take that. Definitely have to take that. Oh, anything with this is in here, but it's not even used in this campaign, boys. Look at this. Got it. Okay. But it might be relevant to lore. We'll go old Temerian. I feel like that's book stuff. And we deal, I just finished saying we deal with the dwarves, so dwarvish makes perfect sense. We do be dealing with them dwarves. Ray of Frost. I think that has to go into the cantrips. It just makes sense. How many party members? 4. Chill touch. Let's do shine as a cantrip so we can illuminate enemies. It's fighter, monk, wizard, and bard. I think we're going to go with bard. Excuse me. Feather fall, jump, identify. So we're going to make some changes to the story, too, before we actually start the story. And then I'm going to stop, and it's all recording from there, and you'll be seeing them later on the stream. Or on the channel, rather, as uploads. No, the last one will be Bard. We haven't done Bard yet. So let's go with... Sight. Sleep, Longstrider, Crease. Let's take Magic Missile. As a reaction, we can do Feather Fall. That might be good. Class spells. We can get a lot of fucking spells. Never mind. Holy shit. We can get a ton of these spells. Magic Missile, Longstrider, Sleep, False Life. Expeditious Retreat. Let's change auto. Feather Fall and This would be good to help the monk out. I know that. Shit. Go long stride and... Let's do... No, that's for self. If we're doing self, we might as well do shield. Phase 3. Body decoration, white. I feel like this is where we're at with her face makeup. Something like this here. Something like one of these two here. Probably that one there, I'm thinking. This color doesn't... What's the other one I was looking at? That one there. Probably that one, I'm thinking.
Hold firm. You've endured worse.
I am in your debt, my friend.
How tiresome.
I really must be more careful.
I'll get you yet.
A crude trap.
You can do it.
Just where it hurts most.
2 is probably...
That was simplicity itself. What strength!
You can do it. Interesting. That was a lucky hit.
We're coming! Heave now! All your strength!
Okay. What's this name? The lore is kind of just a playthrough. It's just the reason for, you know what I mean? It's just the reason for the backstory, just something to get everybody up to date on backstory so we can play this and it doesn't detach from the main story. It won't become lore because it's the game's lore, technically, right? But we maybe manipulate it in a way that doesn't make it the game's lore, but something that's, you know, a mission, right? They went on aim. It'll be in passing. Or, you know, whatever the case. Yeah, put some shit in. Put it in the Discord would probably be the best place, so that way it sticks around and doesn't just fly by on the disc or the chat. Cool, there we go. We got Vera.
We won't be fooled so easily.
We could do something. I mean, we do have the opportunity to do something fucking hilarious here. Right? We do have the opportunity to do something fucking hilarious here, right? We have the Dragonborn, the silver Dragonborn, who just so badly wants to be a part of the tribe, right? But he can't, because, you know, but he lives in the territory because he's a silver dragon, which is like cold, right? And he's a bard, and he follows them around and sings glorious tales of their heroic deeds and their power and their strength, trying so badly to be accepted. And all he wants is to just be a part of the tribe. That's all he wants, but he can't. So he just follows them around, fucking glazing them all day. He just follows them around, glazing them all day. Yeah, basically, he's just one of like the dragon races to the north, right? The more northern ones. Right? If they don't not come out of there, but they just, generally speaking, that's where they're at. And he is way off the path for like what his group would normally do, right? Bards don't exist really like that, in that sense, in their culture, we'll say. Right? Not like that. Not like he's doing. He's just glazing people. I think that would be fucking hilarious, actually. A lady dragon? or a dude dragon? What do you guys think? Are you guys with that? Strength, but the class would focus on charisma, but does have natural strength. Yes. All right, I will defer to Trazen. Here we go. Our silver dragonborn. The bard. This is going to be great. This character, I think, is going to be fucking great. It's going to be a good contrast. You know, we were planning on going full things, but I was like, this makes so much more sense with regards to, like, the dragons in the further north, right? Like, this makes perfect sense, and this guy's just the oddball out. He's just real goofy, real weird, but not a bad ally, right? Like, you know? Bard colleges, here we go. What have we got here? The College of Lore. The College of Lore has gathered knowledge from all over the world. From ancient ballads, pleasant folk tales, scholarly tomes, and more. They pursue truth and beauty with unending devotion. Oh, unending devotion. That's clean. That's exactly what we're kind of looking for. The Bards of College of Hope are bringers of comfort and dispellers of fear. Their songs raise spirits to those who hear them and healing bodies and soothing fears. Nope. Tradition, descending song wizards. Melancholy Empire. Well, their allegiance has changed their fascination with mad. Nope. Using word or song. Bards of College of Heroism sing the song ballad to him. Inspiring crowds with their deeds. I think we're College of Lore. Unending devotion right here. I think this is it. They pursue truth and beauty. And as we know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? And this guy thinks the Frostbone tribe are just the greatest. He's heard stories about the ups and downs and, right, the massacre and the daughter and you know, all this shit. He's heard about it, and he's just too fucking happy to spread the word of it because it is so fucking cool. Because the lore to him is so cool. Yeah, I think that's him. Clearly an artist, I mean... Clearly an artist. Someone who likes money too. Greed, definitely greed. Egoism and greed. Greed and egoism. Excuse me. We're gonna need some legendary stats for this guy. Now, keep in mind we are doing this for the story, so I will be doing this on a lower difficulty when we do record the content, so there's nothing here, no claims of being the ultimate run or anything like that, or the fully optimized group, just a cool story, hopefully, would be the ideal thing. Damn, that's nice, but I really like an 18 in there somewhere. Unless we're like a couple 17s and a couple, you know? I want this guy to be like undeniably talented so they deal, right? That it's like, all right, we'll keep him around, you know what I mean? He kicks ass with us. We can't, you know? We ask for good allies, and when we give us one, we can't, you know, we can't turn them away, right? We can't turn away good allies. Especially given the fights that we're fighting, right? You know, like depending on whatever that may entail at the current time or whatever. Oh, there we go. We're taking that. 2 18s. Yeah. He speaks Orcish. He's got to speak Orcish. He's got to speak Orcish, right? We have to pick that. We don't have a choice with that. Vicious Mockery for sure. Shadow Dagger. Thunder Wave. Cure Wounds. No, let's do Healing Word. Healing Word makes more sense. What's up, JVL? What's happening, man? So we got Healing Word. We've got Thunder Wave. Let's take Featherfall. Or did we get Featherfall with the... Yeah, let's do Featherfall and Bane. Go. not very silver. Let's go with a blue here. I think for frost, that's probably the closest. We got like a glacier kind of a thing going there. I can't put a question mark in. I was gonna the clan name Frostbone. Oh my goodness! They let me put a question mark in the clan name. Oh, that's rotten. All right, let's see here. What if there's a random name looks like? Gone, 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 gone. Okay. Frost gone. All gone, all gone. Silva gone. Silver Dragon, Silva gone. Devac, Silva gone. Oh, that's cool. We got to get those. That's cool right there. Scar looks good. Okay. Those horns, we're going to keep that.
I spotted a trap of sorts. How could I miss it? It's so cold. How
Oh,
Perhaps if you tried to be loud instead? Not bad, eh? Kneel now, rise later.
Yeah, that's definitely
Not as taxing as I expected.
that's definitely
You are
our
a true savior. That was a lucky hit.
that's definitely our bard right there.
Really must be more careful. You're still in the fight, my friend. That was a lucky hit.
That's definitely our guy right there. So now we have to start the game, skip the tutorial, and get into the beginning so I can set the settings, stop it, and get ready to start recording. And shut down the stream because, oh fuck, I gotta go make dinner. I gotta get ready to make dinner. God damn it, holy shit, the fucking day disappeared with lore stuff, dude. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. New adventure. This is where we'll start, right? We're going to start on Explorer mode, but we need to fix it. Skip intro. Create campaign. We're starting with the Crown of the Magister. Okay. Select personal characters. We chose Korik is the lead, I guess. Gorjo, his right hand. One of the brightest upcoming academics in the tribe, Vera, the wizard. And the eternal frostbone glazer, Davak Silvagon. So these are all Frostbone. And then this is the guy who's like, #1 Frostbone fan club. This is great. This is fucking great. This is going to be good. All right, so we will start, right? But check this out. We've got to go like here. Brightness down one. But check this out. Dinner's gonna get made, boys. I'm gonna start it immediately after I stop this. It's so fucking muggy and humid too. It sucks. It's brutal. So the story doesn't start yet. We have to go into the thing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come in here, and the video is probably going to start around here. And we're going to go game. And we're going to go difficulty. And we're going to save this. Watch. Boom. And we're going to go explore mode, but we're going to go damage, custom difficulty. 70% critical hits. No, we don't want to disable crits. We want crits. Oh, shit. But no, we don't want to do it every time. I just wanted to apply. All right. Enemy health. Fine. Good. Actually, let's go up from here. Let's go story mode. Custom. Here we go. Damage taken. We will do... For this mode, we'll do 60%. Enable crits, so they can crit. Saving throw. 2 will make these gaps a little smaller. Auto revive, so people will revive at the end of the round. No companions, rest critical. NPCs and companions fully recover during short rests. No, that kind of takes the fun out of big rest. Food is fine. We can take food. Max health on hit die. Fact, okay, cool. That's fine. Level upon leveling, that's fine. Encumbrance rule, fine. Never lose concentration. No, we want to lose concentration. Universal scrolls. Yeah, I think universal scrolls is cool. So everybody can use scrolls, right? But maybe not. It's not. Pagebook limitations. Verbal components. Yes, yes. Basic. True random dice. No guaranteed criticals. Force dialogue success. No. Always display dialogue chances. No. Display bestiary information. No. Disable random encounters. No. Reroll exploration checks. Yes. Auto detect traps. No. No tools required. No, we definitely need tools. Force crafting success rolls. No. Simplified identification and attunement. Yes. Apply. Save game. There we go. And that is where we're ending today's stream, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. This was super fucking fun. I had fun making all this lore and shit. This was fucking great. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for your guys' input. I had fun. We'll get some more of this on the go. Maybe I'll try and scrape together. I don't have any money for that. I can't be doing that. I was gonna say maybe I'll try and scrape together some shit. No, that's good. We'll just work with the free shit for now. We'll do what we can with the free shit. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you